Can you guys believe I just did this makeup in 20 minutes? If you're over 40, over 50, even over 60 and beyond, and you really want to know how to put on a flawless makeup application in 20 minutes, keep watching. Hi, my name is Darlene Obion, and welcome to my channel, Beauty is What I Do 2.0, where I talk to women who are midlife, all about beauty, fashion, lifestyle, faith, all the things that make us who we are today. And today I am doing this video because I have had many women ask about how do you do a makeup in 20 minutes and still look amazing. And so that's what I want to show you. It certainly can be done. There are some key things you are going to need in order to accomplish that look, but I am determined to show you guys how to get a pretty good makeup application in 20 minutes. Now, this is for the woman who wants just a little bit of makeup on when she's getting ready to go to work. She wants to look really put together, but she only has 20 minutes. This is for the woman who wants to make a Target run, right? She doesn't want a 10-step beat, but she wants to look really good when she's out and about running errands. This is for the woman who is single and she's making a Home Depot run. I remember them Home Depot days. Okay. Or this is for the woman who has a partner at home and she just wants to look a little bit more special when her favorite person gets home from work. Okay. So that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm so excited to walk you through these steps. So get ready. Okay, so let's talk about the essential tools that I feel like you're going to need to accomplish this 20-minute makeup look for a mature woman. So you're going to need a powder brush. You're going to need a blush brush. You're going to also need a bronzer brush. You're going to need a concealer brush and an eyeshadow blending brush. So just 5 brushes. You're going to also need a beauty blender. This is going to be very, very key in helping to blend everything out. The other thing that I feel like we need to talk about is I'm assuming that when you sit down to do your makeup, that you've already done your skincare, your brows are already done. So we're not including any extra steps that you need to do to your face when it comes to doing your makeup in 20 minutes. You cannot include that because whether you were going to put makeup on or not, you're going to make sure your eyebrows are nice and clean. You're going to make sure that you've already washed and moisturized for the day. So this is literally about getting your makeup on 20 minutes and it still look amazing and beautiful for whatever it is that you're going out of the house to do. So another thing I'm going to assume, because you are a woman of a certain age, is that you probably wear some of these. Okay, I'm sure you probably wear some of these. And with that comes along unfortunate indentations, dark marks on the side of our nose that we need to correct. I'm going to also assume that by the time you're 50, unfortunately, you may have had some sun damage or maybe you have some hyperpigmentation. As you can see, I clearly do. I'm a little darker here, lighter here, and this is on both sides. And this actually took place, or I first noticed it in my 20s. I could have had it removed, or I could have had like a stronger treatment done to my face, but I just decided to not go that route and just cover it up with makeup. So with that being said, there is some correction that may need to be done prior to you putting on your foundation, unless you do have a full coverage foundation. I am assuming that when you want your makeup done in 20 minutes, that you want something that's light, natural looking. And so the foundation I'm using is a very light type of foundation. It is for a drier skin because I'm dry. So it is more of a dewy type of foundation. It's more sheer to medium coverage. So I'm going to need a little bit of correction before I just go in with my foundation. But before we do that, the very first thing you want to start with, no matter what, is you want to start with your primer. This is a Laura Mercier primer, and I absolutely love this. You just need a little bit. You're going to use your fingers, little bit. That's all you need. Rub it together, and you're going to concentrate putting it mostly in the center of the face. And then any extra, go ahead and rub it out. Usually the makeup breaks down in the center first. Now, after that, that's when we're going to go in and start doing some correction. I like to use the MAC corrector palettes. There is a medium and then there is a dark. I love these. I'm going to actually be using the dark. And so you just go to the MAC counter and tell them you want a corrector palette, and they'll tell you which palette is best for you. I'm going to be using this color here, and I'm going to simply just use my finger. And I'm going to tap it right there on my nose to kind of cover that up. And what's nice about the corrector that my foundation won't do is that it's just a little bit heavier in texture. So it's giving me a little bit more coverage than what my foundation will do. I'm also going to use a little bit underneath my eye, again, tapping it with my finger. As you can see, that already looks good. And then I'm going to use a little bit on the side of my face where I have that really demarcation of my skin tone not being even. And I'm just patting it in with my ring finger. And that's it. That's all the correction that we need. Now we're ready for our foundation. And the foundation that I'm going to be using today is the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy Smooth Foundation. And I'm simply just going to open it up. If it has a pump, it's best. But this one, unfortunately, does not have a pump. But I'm just going to use my beauty blender. And I'm just going to tap some into my sponge. And I'm going to just begin to tap this all over my face. By the way, the sponge is damp because I want a very natural finish and look to my skin. And that's what the damp sponge will do. So I'm tapping this all over, even on top of what I've corrected. And as you can see, the skin looks flawless. The skin looks hydrated. The skin looks beautiful. Okay. The next thing is now your concealer. You've already probably taken about 2 minutes to do that. And the concealer I'm using today is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. I'm using the color Toffee. And what's nice about it is that it has a little brush on the end. So you're just going to apply a little bit underneath the eye, and that's it. You're going to blend it out with your brush. You're going to squeeze it because you don't need a lot. That's enough to blend it all the way out. And the brush you're going to use is a blender brush. This one is by Morphe. It's the M335 brush. And you're simply going to take it and just tap it out. You do not want to rub because the purpose of your concealer is to conceal. And it needs to be just a little bit lighter. And by the way, when you want this fast, quick look, and you don't want to have to do all this blending, you want to choose a concealer that is 1 to 2 shades. When you're doing a super glam look, I'm just telling you, you need a concealer that is definitely 2 to 3 shades. But for this really natural look, 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation. And as you can see, that looks beautiful. The next step is your blush. I like to use a liquid blush, and the blush I'm using is by Giorgio Armani. It's called Fluid Sheer. It's like a deep terracotta color. I absolutely love it. And I'm just going to pump a little bit right in that jaw space. And then I'm going to use my blush brush to blend it out. The reason I'm using my brush as opposed to my fingers is because it's a strong pigment. I want this brush to absorb some of the pigment. And as you can see, that looks beautiful and glowy. And it's just giving you just enough color. Okay. So far, we've only used a sponge and 2 brushes. The next thing you want to do is now you want to set. You have to set, ladies. There is no way you can go out the house like this because you're going to be super slick and shiny, and that's not going to look good. We want glowy, but we don't want shiny. So you've got to set it. And the setting powders that I choose to use are by Sephora. It's the Micro Smooth Powder, and I'm choosing one that is close to my skin tone. This one is called Toffee. And I'm simply using a powder brush, tapping it into the powder, and I'm tapping it all over my face. I'm avoiding the under eye area. This takes down a little bit the shine, but more importantly, it sets your liquid foundation. And then I also choose a lighter color, right, to match my concealer. And with this, I'm going to use my beauty blender, and I'm going to tap into it, tap off any excess on the back of my hand, and I'm going to use that to set the concealer underneath. I'm going to also tap a little bit and use this on my eyelid. Now, that's how your skin should look. So we're probably up to about maybe 12 minutes in makeup. It's probably faster than that, but because I'm talking, it's taking a little bit more time. Now we're going to move on to our brows. I'm using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I love this. And I love it because it has a fine tip on the end and a brush on the other side. And so you simply just want to brush your brow up in the direction that it grows. And you want to start at the bottom, extend it out, start halfway at the brow on top, bring it around until you meet the end, and then you want to fill it in. These brows do not have to be perfect. Remember, because we're making a Target run. We're making a grocery store run. We're going to work. So it doesn't have to be a super glam look, because the point is that we have 20 minutes to get out. Bring it up and bring it around. And there we go. Now, after you've done your brows, you need to set them, boo. You need to set those brows. I like to use the Maybelline Super Lock Brow Gel. And I just go over it, and it holds the pigment and your brow hairs in place, just like that. Next, we're going to use a little bit of bronzer. I like to use the Fenty bronzer in Mocha Mammy. Love this bronzer, but they've got so many tones, so you just simply just have them match one that's about 2 shades deeper than your skin tone. You're going to use a bronzer brush, and you're just going to tap right underneath where you put that liquid blush. This brings a little bit of depth back to the face. Take a little bit along the hairline, what's the remainder that's in the brush, and just brush it back into the hairline. And that's it. Next, you're going to use a little bit of blush now on top. If this is fine for you, then you can stop here. But if you feel like, oh, I want just a little bit more color, just use a soft pink. And I love this pink one by Giorgio Armani. I can't see the name of it, but I'll be sure to put it in the description. And it's a pink blush like this. And you're going to take your blush brush, tap it on the side, like that. And you're just going to tap it, just like that, just to give it a little bit more of a pop, just like, and you're done. Okay, we're probably at about maybe 17 minutes. The next thing we're going to do is eyes. Eyes are so simple, you guys. I love this shadow palette. It's called the Warrior 2 by Juvia's Place. They're just warm tones, right? And literally, you just need the one shadow. So just depending, if you're a little lighter than me, then you would go with this one. If you're more like me or darker, you would go with that. And if you're even more darker in tone, you could even use the black. I'm going to use this tone here. Remember, this is every day out the door. And I'm going to start at my lid. And then I'm going to swirl it up to the beginning of my brow. And then I'm going to bring it around in the crease, just like that. Tapping more for the other side. On my lid first. And then bringing it up toward the beginning of my brow. Swirling it. By swirling the brush, you're blending it much better. Bringing it around in the crease. And you're done. You are done. The next thing you want to do is add a black liner. I love this one as well by Urban Decay. It's called Perversion. And I love it because it's waterproof and it's very soft. So you just want to go with a very thin line close to your lash line. And we're going to follow this up with the Urban Decay mascara, also the same name, and you're going to apply that. Now, remember with your mascara, you don't want to pump. You want to twirl it around to get the pigment out. Because if you pump, you're going to pump air into it and you're going to dry out your mascara sooner than it should be. So you're going to lift up with your free hand and you're going to pull that mascara from the lash line up. Do not just put this mascara on your tips. Pull it all the way up, ladies. The same on the other side. And if you say, Darlene, I feel like I need mascara on my bottom lashes, but it always bleeds, I got you. Let me tell you what you do. Look how pretty that mascara, beautiful and natural. Now, what you may do is love lashes like I do. So you won't need this if you already have lashes on. But if you're really just a natural girl, that's all you have to do is just make sure you get those lashes from the base with your mascara. And the more you put it on, the better it will build up. But for you who love to usually put mascara under the bottom lash line because you feel like it defines the eye, I'm going to say skip that. Skip that for easy, quick, get out the door type of makeup and just do a brown liner. And I'm going to say use the brown liner because it still gives you definition. Now, if you really want, go right ahead now because now you're pushing it to 22 minutes. We passed the 20, okay? But I love this. So it's also by Urban Decay and it's called Whiskey and it's a brown eyeliner and it will not move. And then the last step is your lips. Now, of course, I use MAC Chestnut, but if chestnut is too dark, cork is really good. It's a slightly lighter brown in the lip liner, but because you've already moisturized your lips, you can sometimes just use this as a lip color, guys. So start to line the lip. And if you want, you can simply rub that together and that could be your lip color out the door. But I like to add a little color to it. So I'm using the Too Faced Liquid Matte Longwear Lip Color. It's a pink tone, so it's kind of got a little punch to it, but because I'm going to put a gloss over it, it's okay. And then I'm rubbing that together. Now, for you ladies that like a matte look, you could stop right here and you'll be done. But for those that like a little bit of shine, I love this Fenty gloss. It's one of her signature glosses that she came out with. It's a neutral tone. I'll be sure to link it in the description. And this simply goes on top. Now, if you find that, you know what, Darlene, that color is a little bit too much, or I don't like color, I'm more of a gloss girl, I still want it to look a little bit more natural, just do the liner and just do the gloss. It will be perfect. And then the very last step is your setting spray. You better set this. Don't try to go out without setting this. This one stop onto the dawn is amazing. So you just want to kind of bring it arm's length, make sure that you feel that it's hit every part of your face. And girl, you are done in 20 minutes. If I had not been talking, it could have probably been 15 minutes, to be honest. But that's it, you guys. So I will make sure to put everything in the description of everything I use. And then after you finish your makeup, you take your hair down, you take your rollers out, you take your scarf off. You doing all this stuff, and you fluffing it out. Right? Girl, bye. Don't tell me this is not cute. Cute, cute, cute. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I love it. And I hope you love it too. So I hope I gave you some great tips on how to do your makeup in 20 minutes. Now, if you are lost about skincare, I'm going to suggest this video right here that I did about a couple of weeks ago. You'll get some great ideas on skincare and how to use it. And then if you're ready to take your makeup from this to the next level, I'm going to suggest you watch this video here. Thank you so much. I appreciate the suggestions. Keep them coming. Give me your comments. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you're able to really do this in 20 minutes, okay? So if you're new here again, go ahead and subscribe if you like this type of content. And if you're back, if you're my day ones, thank you so much for supporting me, for coming back and watching my videos. And you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.